Hey everyone, Tristan here with SUV RVing. I am in Twin Falls, Idaho with Grady, owner of Suboverland. He and his company make off-road adventure builds, really unique builds that we'll have him tell you more about.
So I started Suboverland a little over 2 years ago now, and my idea behind Suboverland is it brings the overlanding community and the van life community together. So you don't see many overland vehicles using like the wood ceiling or like these wooden cubbies, or not a lot of wood and that kind of aesthetics in the builds. And the same thing with van life, you don't see a ton of really capable, four-wheel drive vehicles with vans. They're out there, but there's not a lot of them. And so that's kind of how we blended the two and came up with Suboverland. And this particular build right here, this is an 06 Chevy Suburban, last year of this body style, and it has 231,000 miles. We've had it for quite a while and put a bunch of miles on it. Some of the modifications that we've done with this vehicle and all of our other ones, it's really standard, is we do a minor lift. So it is a 1.5 inches in the rear and about 2.5 in the front to level it out. And with that lift we do new coils. It has Moog HD coils in the rear, Bilstein 5100 shocks front and rear, and then we do new tires. These are 10-ply tires. We only use 10-ply. This particular tire is the BFG, all-terrain KO2, most popular tire out there for overlanding. It's an awesome tire. Along with the lift, we also do fluids. So we change all the fluids. We do a tune-up, plugs, wires, fuel filter, and we check the brakes, inspect it, do a front end if it needs it, align it, so it's all ready to go regardless of the miles. We're a really small company and we build these out for clients. And so we have a waiting list. It's usually about 6 months. We buy the stock Suburban for the client, bring it back and start building it out for them. And then they fly in from all over the place when their pickup date, and they get their rig and they go have fun with it. So that's kind of what we do here as far as the Suburban modifications. Really simply, the reason why we chose the Suburban is it's extremely reliable, very capable off-road, and they're affordable. And it's the most bang for your buck as far as bigger four-wheel drive vehicles go. Now it's not a four-wheel drive Sprinter van, it's not a sportsmobile, it's definitely not an Earth Roamer. And because of that, the prices are obviously going to be drastically different with our builds. This particular model has all the options, and so it runs, these start at $11,900, and that includes the vehicle plus all of the modifications.
Hey everyone, really quick, I just wanted to insert one thing in here that we didn't really mention while we were filming together, and that is that you can actually just buy the base vehicle also from Suboverland. If you don't want the entire build done, you can just buy the Suburban with the lift, with the suspension, with the tires, with the mechanical work done. You can buy that for $4,900. And between that and the $1,200 version, they have a couple of other different models to suit different budgets and different options and different styles. And we'll include links to all of that in the description. I just wanted to mention that you can buy just the vehicle if that's what you're interested in. All right, let's get back to the tour.
So this is our bed platform setup we have here. It's made out of 3/4 inch plywood on top. We use birch, and these drawers are full-length drawers, so they slide all the way out, and then you can access all of your things in there. These don't have a slide system like you see on most builds, where they have like a runner right there. This is because in our mind that's unnecessary, and it holds up the weight fine like this. This drawer goes forward also, and so it acts as a extension to the bed platform. This is the same drawer system as over there. So that goes like that, and there's also another one. And so you can put the stove or whatever right here, and you can be cooking, and then you can access all the other stuff right there. It just works out really nice. The next thing I want to show here is our window coverings, window inserts. There's a lot of different names you can call them. And this one for the rear is just shaped like the back hatch window here. And this is a really thick outdoor fabric that we actually get it at Walmart. It's rubber on one side, and then this kind of thick canvas duck is also another another word you can describe it as, this type of material. And then there's Reflectix on the inside. My wife makes these at her house, so it's all made in here. Made in America. These have magnets, like the really strong rare earth magnets in the corners, and you just kind of slap it up in the corners and it sticks there. It's a lot easier when you're inside the vehicle, and it really helps out with insulating the vehicle and obviously blacking it out. These window inserts are for the side windows, the front side windows, right directly behind the driver and passenger seat. And these just slip in there. Same type of system. There's no magnets needed on these. They just go into the door. This is the final window covering / curtain. So there's Velcro right there. And this wraps around the copper pipe in the front. And it just wraps around the rod like that and goes around it, and there's 3 different Velcros, and these are split, so there's 2 of these. Really simple. There's not a lot of stuff that can go wrong with these, and that's how we like to keep all of our builds simple and built strong. So it's just like that with both sides. So this rod is it's a curtain rod. We've made it into a curtain rod. It's just a copper pipe from like Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. You just kind of bend it to shape and do pilot holes for the screws. This is a really thick ceiling versus like the thinner cedar tongue and groove. This is a pine, and so you can mount things easier with this. Is what I'm saying. So this is a full-size mattress that we buy off Amazon or eBay, and then we cut it to the correct width. A regular full size is 54 inches wide, 75 long, and our platform is 48 inches wide. It's just a normal piece of plywood. So we cut down the foam. This is actually a cover, so it unzips, and so we unzip it and cut the foam to form. And you can also, this is washable, so you can unzip the whole thing, throw it in the washer, and clean it up. And it folds a lot of different ways. So you can go like that, and then have a bunch more cooking area back here. And then there's handles on it too, so it's super portable. So these are our side storage cubbies. This is 1/2-inch birch plywood that we cut with our CNC router. And so that's how, the cuts are so nice. There's a lip here, so that's how the items can stay in. And you can also, add a mesh piece or something like that if you really need it. And then right here, integrated into the cubby, is USB plugs. Right there's 2 of them, and then this is a cigarette lighter plug-in, and you can move the fridge back here, so while you're cooking, it's a little easier to get to the food. And this is all connected to our auxiliary battery setup that we'll go over later. And so cubbies on both sides, and then right here, which is pretty unique to have in a Suburban, probably this is a full-blown ceiling fan that you see in every RV. So this is a Dometic Fantastic fan. We use a lot of Dometic products. We love them. And this has a 3-speed manual crank, and it both directions, so you can have the air go in or out on this particular model. We've slept 5 people in a Suburban, and that gets pretty warm. So this thing's running all night, and that and when you have your dogs and everything too, this is really important if you're in the desert. Behind the cubbies is just a normal insulation that they insulate walls of homes with. It's called RMax, and so it is behind the cubbies blacked out between the window and this. There's a big window behind these. And so that's what we're on the side insulation. And then up top, underneath this pine shiplap, is the other type, or is also insulated with that same RMAX foam insulation. In the ceiling, these are LED recessed lights that are, of course, wired to the same thing, the auxiliary batteries. And they're just recessed in there. They don't use much power at all, and they are very convenient to have. All Suburbans have two different types of rear door setups. There's a barn door, which are the ones that kind of open up like that, like a lot of the cargo vans. And then there's the hatch. So this has the hatch. And so the hatch system is, an extra awning in my mind. So I was just camping the other day and it was raining. You don't need to have an awning per se, because this is just nice. And then another cool thing about the hatch system is this. So this window opens up like that, so you can grab your stuff really quick. Or if you're just chilling in the Suburban, this is good airflow for the fan, and it's just a good system that Chevy did. So this is the second row seat. Most Suburbans will have a bench, so 3 passengers, and some of them will have captain chairs. So this was originally a 3-passenger in the rear, a full bench. We eliminated that side for the electrical box, and we left the 2. This was originally my vehicle, actually, for my family. It was my wife and I and our 2 little kids. We now have 3 kids, so we kind of grew out of this Suburban. But these are cool. This system right here, you just pull that forward, and then this goes down like that. And so this adds more storage and everything. And then with the platform, this platform is only about 5'6", 5'7" as it sits, coming to the back of when the seat is in the upright position. So because of that, we do an extension of it. So you pull the drawer forward, and you can just put that right there. And so that extends out the platform, and the same thing on that side with that drawer. And then you can fold down that. The full length of this mattress is just normal full, so it's 75 inches long. So this is our electrical setup that we were doing a while back. This is actually build number 24 out of 63. When we were doing the builds in the 20s and the 30s, and it's actually pretty recent that we've changed over to a different electrical setup. But this is what we were doing, and this has a similar plugins, has the same plugins like the back. So you have your 2 USBs and then a cigarette charger. This is plugged into the fridge in the front, and then this is our 1,000-watt inverter. You push that and turns on the surge protector. And then inside the box is just a really simple setup. These are 2 100 amp hour AGM batteries, and then you have a charge controller, 30 amp charge controller for the 100-watt solar panel. And there's a battery. It's really hard to see. This is a small setup. It's a battery isolator right there, that one, and just a fuse box. So the cool thing about this setup is the battery isolator, it charges from your alternator as you're driving the car. And you can also jump yourself from these 2 batteries in case your starter battery quits on you. And so this was my version of the solar generator, I think they call them. It's not portable. It has its benefits versus some of those other companies that are making them. But when it's all said and done, the labor cost of me putting this together actually wasn't worth it. And so we transitioned to this. And I'm sure a lot of you know what these are, but this is just a solar generator from Goal Zero. And there's a couple of different companies that are doing these type of things. The Goal Zero replaced that box, essentially. There's an inverter, you have your USBs, places for your inputs, your solars, and it charges from the car also. And so that's what we're doing now. All of the wiring, all of the electronics in the rear of the vehicle are running off of this. So you have the two batteries charged by your car and the solar. So those items include the LED recessed lights that have their own switch, the fan, the USB plug-ins back there to charge your devices, inverter located on the rear of the box, these plug-ins right there, and that's it. So originally the Suburbans come with a center console like most cars. We remove that center console and replace it with this fridge. This is the Dometic CFX 28. Again, we use a lot of Dometic stuff. It is a fridge or a freezer. You can't divide. Right now we just have it set at normal fridge temperature, 36, 37 degrees. This is your sensitivity level. I have it on low right now. That's a really cool feature because these are so efficient that you can actually run them off of your car. That's what they're designed to do. And what that sensitivity level is, it will shut off the fridge's compressor when your battery is too low, so you could start your car up in the morning. So that's a really cool feature that Dometic has. I love this little rubber. I don't know if they did this on purpose or what, but it's like perfect for like phones and like your keys you're not using. You know, I really actually like that about them. And that's how it opens. So it's, you know, it's a pretty small fridge, but it definitely gets the job done. So this Suburban, this is an '06 Suburban. This model, this body style ran from 2000 to 2006. This is our most common body style that we do. They're extremely reliable, they're affordable, and like I said at the beginning, you know, they're really capable four-wheel drive vehicles. This Suburban has 231,000 miles, and a lot of people ask us, like, how many miles is too many miles, you know, like that type of question. One thing that I suggest people do, consumer reviews. Just on anything nowadays, you can get really good reviews. You can get a lot of good information from reviews. These things have awesome reviews on KBB, Edmunds, all of the above. This Drivetrain is extremely common. It has a 5.3 liter V8, 4L60E tranny, and then the front and rear diff. It's for the half ton. They're just a transfer case. They're so affordable to replace if it ever needed it, and they're reliable on top of that. So it's a really good combo. So one of the biggest deciding factors on choosing this Drivetrain was just from personal experience. I used to be a FedEx contractor, and because of that, we had to maintain our own vehicles. So I had all GM stuff, same Drivetrain, and we would consistently go over 400,000 miles on original Drivetrain. And I know some people are just like, no, that's like, that can't happen and whatever, but I know it from personal experience, and it didn't just happen one time. We don't offer a 400,000 mile warranty. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I do know that these can go the distance, and that's why I feel comfortable selling them at higher miles, you know, depending on who you talk to. Our typical build has around 170 to 200,000 miles on the base vehicle. All of my personal Suburbans and vehicles have way over 200,000, and I drive them all over the place. So unlike a lot of other SUVs and stuff out there, this has a 2-speed transfer case. When you're regular driving, you're in 2-wheel drive. And then it has 4 high and 4 low, which is really good if you're doing any rock crawling or any of that stuff. And then it also has the auto 4-wheel drive feature that I like for like snow and stuff like that. So right here is our solar shower. It's a gravity fed solar shower. It's 8 gallons of water, and it's a really simple setup. It's just strapped down with big clamps. And then in the rear here, so this is just a regular garden hose attachment. So you fill it up with just a regular garden hose and on-off valve, and then this is your air valve. And then so you fill it up, And when it gets nice and hot, you turn it on and you have your shower. Really simple. Right here is where the ceiling fan is. This is a just a normal basket rack. It's 64 inches long, about 48 wide. And in the front is our 100 watt solar panel. And that's just mounted directly to the roof of the vehicle. The tank, the fuel tank on these things, it comes stock with 31 gallons for the half-ton models. The 3/4 tons go up to 35. The older Suburbans in the 90s had 41-gallon tanks. So, if you do some quick math, on this particular one at 31, you'll get around 13 to 15 miles a gallon. You're over a 400-mile range. The 90s ones, you're up to 600. Along with the new tires that we do, they're an oversized tire. So it's a 285/75/16, or if it's a 17 inch, it's a different size. It's about 33 inches in diameter. Because of that, you don't want different size tires when you're in four-wheel drive. It can ruin your differentials. And so because of that, we do a full-size spare. And it just mounts where the stock one originally was. And so you grab your keys to your car, unlock that guy, plop it out, and then all the jack stuff is located right there where it is originally. Just in there, you just pop that up, and then just like mini cars, you throw in, you put them together, throw it in, and then you twist it down, and it's a full-size, 10-ply tire to match everything else. The front of the vehicle here, you have your normal, headlights set up and everything, and then we add these LED lights. So we actually don't do the big LED light bar anymore, but this was again an older model. What we do now is just replace the original fog lights. So these were originally just the GM fog lights, and we put these LED ones and mount them there. And these are great. So our company mantra, motto, whatever you want to call it, make it strong, make it simple, make it work. This is what we try to do with all of our builds. And going along with our motto, we by no means think ourselves as competing with some companies like Sportsmobile, Earthroamer, all the van conversion companies. In my mind, those guys are almost on a different league. They're almost in a different league than us. Like I mentioned before, our prices, this whole thing costs around 12 grand. I mean, that is vehicle, the conversion, all the electrical work, the solar, everything we went over. Although that our work, and I take pride in our work, and we do a really good job, I by no means think that these are worth 100 grand. It's a 20-year-old vehicle, it's a used vehicle, and our handiwork, it's better than DIY, and it's really good, but it is not gonna be those other companies. That's for them. They can sell them for 100 grand and stuff, and that's totally cool. And a lot of people love that option. And I am not I'm not against that at all. But we are what we are, and we make really simple, affordable four-wheel drive rigs that everyone can enjoy, regardless of how much money you make.
Well, Grady, thanks so much for showing us around. This is a really cool rig, and I'm actually going to be taking this out for a few days and traveling in it. So you guys can look forward to my adventures and my thoughts on it. But tell the people more about your stuff and your website, and where people can find more information about you and follow you online.
Okay, yeah. We do probably most of our photos and everything on Instagram. So it's just Suboverland, SUB Overland. And our website is www.suboverland.com. And then we have a YouTube channel. It's also just Suboverland. So you can find it there. And I do just little kind of tour videos, kind of similar to what we're doing today. And then also informational stuff on overlanding, van life, repair videos and stuff like that. If any of you guys are interested in what we do, or have any questions, or have questions about how you can get your own Suboverland, it's really simple. You can just contact us. You can find our information on our website, and we have a waiting list, so you have to just get on the waiting list and we start building out your dream rig for you.
And I'll be sure to put links to all the things that Grady mentioned in the description below and in the comments below. And let us know if you guys have any questions. We'll be patrolling them and answering those. And thanks again, Grady, for sharing your rig with us and sharing your shop with us. And we'll hopefully we can see each other again soon. Maybe we'll see each other out on the road somewhere. And thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.